Hello, so today I'll be sharing my TBR and I'm actually so excited for this one because I have 3 romance books, 3 romantasy books, and 2 kind of like out of my comfort zone, out of the usual genres that I read books. And yeah, so I want to talk about those 2 because I feel like it would be so nice if I find a new genre that I love. Let's start with my very much in my comfort zone books, romance, and then we'll move on to romantasy and the other ones. Okay, so let's start with this one. It's called Miranda in Retrograde, and I'm actually excited to read this one for 2 reasons. One is the main character, or the main girl. Wait, hold on, can you see it? Can you see it? Okay, so the first one is this one. I'm excited to read this one for 2 reasons. One is she is very much a STEM girly. She is like type A, very organized, very logical and practical. So she throws caution to the wind and decides to live her life based off her horoscope. And I don't know, I think that's such a cool idea. I've never heard of any book like that, so it's definitely something new to read. And also the little summary mentions 2 guys, so will there be a triangle situation going on? We don't know, but I'm definitely here for it. The other reason is I actually won this on a giveaway. Like one day I was kind of bored and suddenly remembered that Goodreads giveaways are a thing, and I was like, oh whatever, I'll just do it for fun, and I just entered into a bunch of giveaways, and weeks later I get this in the mail and I'm like, what the heck? Like, I didn't order anything, like what's this? And I was like so very much pleasantly surprised. So if you want a chance at a free book, go ahead, enter to all the giveaways on there, and maybe we'll get one too, who knows. Never say never, right? Okay, the second one that I'm really excited to read is Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. I'm not gonna lie, I chose this one because it was written by Elle Kennedy. I feel like she has never disappointed me. I've read so many books by her already and not one has been bad or even mediocre in my opinion. So yeah, that's the first reason that I was convinced to read this. But the second one is, the title and also the cover. Are you kidding me? So Girl Abroad, I studied abroad for a bit, so just reading the title, I was like, oh my god, like I need to read this, and I feel like it's gonna be so nostalgic. But let me tell you, the summary looks good. I feel like it's giving Exo Kitty vibes because it's this girl who goes to London to study abroad, and she gets placed in the wrong room with like, or I guess, I don't know how, I guess she's placed in the wrong room where her roommates are guys, and it was that whole like plot was giving very much Exo Kitty, and I love Exo Kitty, so I figure why wouldn't I love this one, which has like a similar plot. It's by my favorite author, so yeah, I think it'd be a fun read. Okay, so the next one on the list is Expiration Dates. It's actually a novel. Whenever I see the word novel, I think I'm gonna like learn something deep from it. I don't know why, but that's just me. It's called Expiration Dates because every time she meets a guy, she gets a little note with their name and the number of days that she will like get to know them, or she will be with them, I guess. And then she meets this one guy and she gets a note, but it just has his name, so that's like different from the usual name and like expiration date, right? So yeah, I don't know, I find this really intriguing. And also it says that, you know, the whole story is about learning how to be single, how to be like dating or in love, and how to like navigate through that. And also look at the cover, isn't this gorgeous? It has like little gold like detailing on it, and it's just makes you want to buy it, makes you want to read it. So they're one on my romance genre. So now we're gonna move on to romantasy. I'm actually so excited for this one because it's been a while since I read romantasy. I feel like some are not well developed, or you know, they're not very well written, or they're too deep in their world. Like they come up with these random names and you kind of have to follow like who's who, what world is what, and it gets really confusing and it gets a bit too much sometimes. Sometimes you just want to light read and you're over here like going back and forth looking at the map to figure out where they are at the moment. So yeah, I don't know, I think like a lot of things kind of like make me gravitate towards romance and just stick with that, but I love a good romantasy and I found some really good ones that I think I and maybe you will like. So the first one is, hold on. Okay, so the first one is A Bargain So Bloody, and it's about this woman who's in like a magical prison, and she's, you know, banking on the fact that in 15 years she'll be free, right? But then she finds out that she won't be, so she makes a bargain with a powerful vampire, and so they kind of help each other escape. And of course we know that their story doesn't end there, so I'm really intrigued by this because I love a good like prison break. I love a good girl with a background, you know, I love a good girl with a past story. So the next one is Whisked Away. At first I was like a bit iffy about it, but then I saw that it involves kingdoms, and I feel like when there's like a kingdom or like royalty involved, there's always like a power play or a betrayal, and I'm here for that. And then I saw that two half brothers compete in like a royal tournament for her hand, and it was giving Vampire Diaries. It really was. It was giving Vampire Diaries, and it was giving Love Triangle, and again, I'm here for it. I think again this is like a romantasy that kind of like puts all these tropes together to make a really good book, I hope. The next one is kind of like really out of my romantasy comfort zone because I've never really seen a summary like this. I've never really seen like an idea like this one. It's called A Forgery of Fate, and it's about a girl who paints the future. I'm, you know, based on the summary and what I read, I'm not sure if she paints and predicts the future, or she paints the future and it happens. Either way, I think it's really cool concept. So essentially she has to kind of support her mom who has like a gambling problem and two younger sisters, but it's all within like this like realm of like magic and even like a bit of Greek mythology, because she has to make like a deal with like a dragon lord, and they go, I don't know what that means, but sure. And they go under the sea to like where he lives. So I guess it's again like a mix of different things. I feel like this is one that could be either a hit or miss. I hope it's a hit because the idea seems so cool. So we'll see what happens. I guess I'll let you know if I do like a little recap or a review on all these books that I need to read now. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens there. So now we're moving on. I have two books here that are completely out of my comfort zone. Like, never usually read these. So I don't know. I hope I like them, honestly. I hope I like fall in love with them and I have a whole new genre to explore. So the first one is, actually I'll start with this one. The first one is The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, and it's actually like a manga, and it's so interesting because it opens on the other side. Like, you know what I mean? Usually they open this way, but this one opens on the other side. I guess it's like a manga like feature that I didn't really know about it because I've never really read a manga. But actually my boyfriend gave me this. He gave me this for my birthday because he saw that I've been watching a lot of K-dramas and even like Chinese dramas recently, and he was like, I think you'll like this one. And he also thought I would like it because the main guy, he works at, I think his family's, yeah, he works at his family's patisserie, and I love patisserie and baking. So he was like, this is the perfect book for you, and I don't know, I'm excited to read it. I think this is the first one I'm gonna read out of the whole bunch because yeah, isn't that so cute? Okay, so as I said, the main guy is working his family's patisserie and he meets the girl, but it's, I guess, a Romeo and Juliet situation because he goes to like a high school that I guess is like in the wrong part of town, or you know, this whole vibe, and then the girl goes to like an all girls school, if I'm not yeah, and then the girl goes to a girls high school that's like for like wealthy people or whatever, and she sees no problem with that, but he's like, how is this gonna work? And I don't know, I'm really excited to read it. And also, isn't like the inside gorgeous? Just the in like, isn't this so cool? Someone took the time to draw all of these and hopefully give us a really good story. I have a feeling it's going to be a really good one. So yeah, this is an out of my comfort zone book that I'm excited to read. Okay, so the last one is We Were Liars, and this is more of a like a mystery genre, but it does have a bit of romance in it, so I'm excited for that part, obviously. I actually bought this before the TV show came out, but then I kind of forgot about it, so yeah, we're gonna read it now. From what I saw from the few episodes that I watched, is this girl, she comes from a wealthy family. She has two other friends who are also wealthy, but there's another friend on the friend group that's not coming from a wealthy family at all. So it's about how one day this girl gets, something happens to her and she gets amnesia, and then she's trying to figure out what happened that day, how she got amnesia, like yeah, she's kind of like asking around like what happened to me, and no one's being upfront, everyone's being kind of like cagey or like secretive, and some of them start lying, so I guess that's why it's called We Were Liars. I feel like it's gonna be this like mystery suspense book where you're just constantly trying to find out like who did something to her, or why did they do it, or who would want to do this, and I think it's gonna make you like want to keep reading, hopefully. So I'm gonna want to know what happened to her, why, and does she end up like, who does she end up with? I hope it lives up to the hype. I feel like it's very much a popular book. Out of all the ones I have here, I think this is the most popular one. I mean, it even got a show. I can let you know which ones are worth the hype, which ones are hidden gems, and which ones are not worth your time. Okay, I think that's it for me, but let me know if you got them. I, of course, will put the link below so it's easier for you to get the ones that caught your attention. And let me know if you read them, let me know if you love them or if you hated them for some reason. I feel like these are all pretty good. They seem good anyway. So yeah, let me know, and I'll see you later. Bye!